Hi guys, welcome to Daisy. On Daisy, we're looking at our AFONA series. Alternate Future of North America series. And well, for the first thing, we're going to zoom into the CSA. And we see two revolts. Kentucky revolts, along with Georgia revolts. Against this, quickly we need to turn this nation a new color. Although nobody's revolting down there. Them quickly taking over more land. Same with the Kentucky rebels. But they get pushed back a bit. But they think they started doing good, but guess what? Missouri decides to revolt. And we'll use this green. And this one, they don't manage to push back, but they manage to stabilize their gains. And well, you might think, oh, that's not too bad. They can definitely stop this. Yeah, you'd be wrong. Now for Carolina to revolt. North Carolina and South Carolina. With the managing to take these lands away from them. But the only thing is, the CSA pushes them back. Well, they also push back along the border of Virginia. And at this point, we see the Southern Confederation revolt. You may be wondering what's that? Well, basically, it's a confederation between what's left of Louisiana, because most of it's already annexed, and Mississippi and Alabama. And they revolt. And at this point, we see the CSA end up in its Civil War. Them doing quite well in the initial part, with the rebels in Carolina starting to push forwards. And at this point, they push them all the way back here. And well, they encircle here and push them back. And these rebels advance. And so do these rebels. Except this time to the north. And well, the Missouri rebels start taking stuff over. And well, they start taking over Arkansas. And then this area falls to them. With these rebels taking more land. And then this whole area ending up eventually put down. With them realizing peace is their only way out of this. So now let's see the peace treaty. But then Tennessee ends up free. And now let's look into the peace treaty. Well, we can see Carolina's got freedom, Kentucky got freedom, Missouri got freedom. And these states, the Southern Confederation decided to annex Arkansas. We got Georgia independence. And well, Tennessee just kind of left. Well, at this point, we see a Mexican invasion of Texas. You may be wondering why would they invade them, because they still see them as weak. But are they right, you may be wondering? Well, probably not. But the initial part of this, they end up having some support, and you may be wondering what that means. Well, a rebellion breaks out. And yeah, we'll call this part of the Mexican offensive, but this rebellion quickly occupies lots of land. As to how well the war will go, you'll have to wait to see. With them quickly moving forward, advancing, as they advance up the coast even further. With them advancing here and doing this. Try to move in for an encirclement. But instead, the Texan forces decides to withdraw, and then they back up to easier land to secure. And from, I would say, about maybe Austin or Dallas, they launch a push, and they push them back. And then they launch one over here as they're trying to take back Houston. And they quickly succeed in that. And the rebels end up occupied by Mexican forces as the Texan forces push them back. And the way they deal with this is extremely extreme, with them launching a landing here where the rebels were and managing to push Mexico all the way back. And after pushing them back, the invasion of Mexico begins. And you may be wondering how this goes. Well, it goes well for Texas, with them managing to get a landing, and they move in from here to quickly capture Mexico City. And without a surrender by now, they continue their push, connecting these two forces, and then moving down to here, with Mexico realizing their best option is peace. So they go to peace with Texas. So let's see how it goes. Texas, and losing some border territories. And at this point, they decide it's time for the annexation of Yucatan. And because it's an annexation, with them moving in with their annexation along the coast, and some of these become rebels, with Mexico quickly marching in and taking this from what's left of the CSA. And well, it's now collapsed to Florida. And Florida is gone more revanchist, wanting to get back all of its lands. And well, that's pretty much all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Wild Mapper out, and until you subscribe, bye guys!